Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie, and today I want to talk about the showcases that were shown this week. We had Annapurna and ID at Xbox on Monday, and today we had the Pokemon Presents for Pokemon Day. And I just kind of want to highlight the games that looked really cool, and yeah. Also, I did just I set up a Twitch channel, so if you want to follow me there, it would be appreciated. I don't know when I'm going to start streaming. Now, the Twitch channel is going to be the same name, C Jedi Knight 87. I'll also have a description or the link in the description. But yeah, I'm not sure. I might start tonight and start streaming some of the demos for Next Fest. That's kind of what my plan was, but I've never live streamed games before. To be quite honest, it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot to figure out as far as using different software and trying to figure out how to make everything look right. And yeah, so we'll see how it goes. First stream may not be that great. I'm not really sure. We'll see when it happens. But yeah, maybe sometime today, like maybe, I don't know, like 7, 8 o'clock or something, maybe I'll start. But no promises there. So, starting off with Annapurna, this is kind of interesting because Annapurna had a lot of issues last year. The entire staff pretty much walked out and kind of haven't heard anything about them since. So kind of weird that they would have a showcase. We don't know like if they brought people back or there just hasn't been a lot said. So it's kind of confusing, but anyway, they're a publisher for indie games, kind of like how Devolver is as well. Annapurna and Devolver, I think, are the most well known for the indie scene. Annapurna published Stray, which is what a lot of people would know. They also published Cocoon last year, and just a lot of games. A lot of really highly rated, well-received indie games. But the first game that they showed was Wheel World. Kind of hard to say. Kind of like Real World, from MTV back in the day. Um, but Wheel World is this game where you're on a bike and it's like this open world, kind of really cool graphics, almost like Breath of the Wild in a way. And there's I don't know if you are playing live with other players or if you're just playing against computer or what it is. You just there's a whole lot of other cyclists kind of going about. So there's a demo out for it, so I'm going to try it probably on the live stream whenever I start that. So yeah, it looks really, really cool. There was this game back on PlayStation 2 that's like a hidden gem that I played hours and hours and hours of. I love it so much, called Downhill Domination. And for some reason, Wheel World kind of reminds me of that. And I don't know if it's just because Downhill Domination was like this BMX game. You're going downhill. There's crazy, crazy courses, really fast paced. I guess you could kind of say like Lonely Mountains Downhill kind of has that vibe in a way, only Downhill Domination was more realistic and there were a whole bunch of other computer, racers going downhill as you are as well, but you could chuck like soda cans and stuff at them to knock them off their bikes so you could get past them. And it was just a crazy, crazy game, but really good soundtrack too. Back then, we had everything back in the PlayStation 2 days. GameCube, PlayStation 2, yeah, they rocked. So, and Xbox had a few things like Halo. I love Halo now. I used to hate on it, but yeah. And I say now, I mean like retrospect. looking back at like 1 through 3. Like they're very good games. So anyway, back on track here. uh, the second game they showed was Wander Stop, which I don't really know too much about, except that it's from some of the developers of Stanley Parable, which was one of the first games I played this year after Portal, I think. Um, and it's not anything like Stanley Parable at all. It's kind of almost like I guess kind of like a farming sim maybe, but it's not. And there's a demo out for it, so I'm going to try it and see exactly what it is. And they also showed a game called Skin Deep, which I honestly, I have no interest in. I know like MinMax was streaming it yesterday. MinMax is like one of the best, actually, I think it's the best gaming podcast out there. They're really, really awesome. Definitely check them out. Their like community on Discord and everything's awesome too. Like everybody's so nice and really chill. So yeah. Anyway, Skin Deep is kind of like this cooperative game, and I don't really play co-op games, although I do really, really want to play the new Joseph Ferris game. Not It Takes Two. That's their previous game, which I didn't play either, and I really want to play it. But Split Fiction, yeah, it looks really, really cool. So yeah, but the next game they didn't show a game. Uh, Geometric came out and said that Geometric did Cocoon last year, and they are previous Playdead employees. So they worked on Inside and Limbo, which are fantastic games. I love Playdead. I love anything done by that team or anything that's similar to those games. I crave. I love it. Cocoon was quite a bit different. It wasn't like their typical like action puzzle platformer type game. But they came out and said that they're doing a collector's edition of Cocoon, partnering with I Am 8-Bit, which is really cool. I do own a physical copy of the game, but if they have a collector's edition and it has like a statue or something, like they didn't really show what it was going to be. So I'm super excited for that because it's like that game was a 10 out of 10 for me. So, but they're also releasing a vinyl soundtrack for it too. I don't have a record player, but that game had really, really cool music and audio design was fantastic. So yeah. But they said that they are working on something. They have not announced what that's going to be, but there's a new game coming from them, and that's exactly what I wanted to hear. So super stoked for that, whatever it may be. I'm sure I will love it. I'll eat it up. The next game is Lush Foil Photography Sim. This looks like a very realistic, kind of like a walking sim, but you're taking professional photos, and you kind of like have to like adjust the settings, and the environments look so realistic too. I don't, and I think it's just like one guy that did this. I could be wrong, but there's a demo out for it, and I haven't started that yet either. So that'll be another thing that I'll try. Possibly, I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks really nice. And then there's another game called Faraway or Faraway. This one is kind of like connect the dots, but you're trying to make constellations. And I don't know if it has kind of like a rhythm to it. It almost seems like it does. And it looks really interesting. I'm not sure what the objective is necessarily, like if you're trying to like do certain things or if it's just kind of like a free roam sort of thing. But it looks cool. There's not a demo out for it yet, but I have it on my wish list, so hopefully there will be something soon. The next game they showed was To a T. This one was, I think, originally shown at one of the Nintendo Indie showcases. And you play as a character. You can create your own character. You're playing as a teenager, and their arms are kind of just held out like a T shape, kind of like this. And you try to do all these activities and stuff, but it's a little difficult because your arms don't bend. So I'm not really sure. Like you're trying to like cook, you're trying to brush your teeth. There's also like rhythm games to it. It looks really strange, but it looks really interesting. So it might be fun. There's no demo for that either, but it looks really cool. The next game I've been really interested in since it was first shown is More Souls. This reminds me of Children of Morta, which we played for Game Club like 2 years ago now, and I fell in love with that game. It has Morsels has like a similar art style to that, and it's like an action roguelite, and but you play as a mouse. And I don't know too much else about it. It just the visuals and the gameplay looks really good, so I'm super excited for that. One of my most anticipated indies, honestly. Um, and then the next game, the last game that they showed was Sayonara Wild Hearts. And yes, this game is already released. And yes, I played it like 2 weeks ago, but it's getting an update. It's getting an update for PlayStation 5. So better frame rates. I think they've added like a couple of extra things. And yeah, I don't know if it's getting like a new like physical version or anything. I don't remember, but yeah, it's kind of just, it's funny that this game has been out for quite a while, and I just finally played through it, just a couple of weeks ago for the first time, and then they announced that they're doing an update. But that's the way it happens, right? But it was a really good game. I definitely suggest checking it out if you like rhythm games, especially. Queen Latifah narrates for it too, so it's pretty interesting. I highly recommend. And that was it for Annapurna. So then we got ID at Xbox. So these are just games that Xbox, indie games that Xbox is promoting. So I'm not going to talk about every single one of them like I did with Annapurna. Pretty much all of Annapurna I was interested in, except for the one like cooperative game. So uh, there's a lot that they went over. But the first game that looks really cool is Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. The first Moonlighter was my first roguelike game. I actually was on vacation in Florida, and my friend and I went to GameStop, and we're looking at games, and I think I had a gift card or something, and I saw it, and I was like, this looks really interesting. Like you're running a shop, but all of your inventory comes from things that you find in the dungeon. And I bought it because it was on sale and I had a gift card and it worked, and it just I had never even seen or heard of it before. I actually, like, back then I didn't even really play indies like that. I certainly play like a ton now, but um yeah, I took it back with me, and I could not stop playing this game. I played a lot of it on vacation, and I usually on vacation I don't play games. I'm just, just going out and sightseeing and doing all sorts of other things. But yeah, first roguelite, and roguelite's one of my favorite genres now. I love rogues. They're really satisfying for me. Just that loop, and I think the random number generator, like for me, like is satisfying. I like everything being random for some reason. I know a lot of people don't, but for some reason, I don't know, like, and a lot of people don't like the difficulty of roguelites, but the thing is that you keep playing and you keep getting better and better and better, and it's feels really good when you like really get it going. Um, Whereas like Metroidvanias for me are really hard and it's not satisfying for me. Like I really I don't like that. I'd rather play Souls games to be quite honest. So I mean everybody has like their differences when it comes to those things, but yeah. I super excited for Moonlighter 2. They did change the art style. It's 3D instead of kind of like the 2D style that they had before, but I think it looks really good. So super excited for that. And I think it's going to be day one Game Pass. Actually, a lot of these I want to say are day one Game Pass. So awesome. The next one was Blueprints, which I talked about in my last video. It's another roguelite, but it is a puzzle roguelite. You're in this house. You play as this prince, and your grandfather leaves his estate to you when he dies. And I guess there's like an extra prize or something that he's left for you, but the only way to get that prize is to find his secret room. So this mansion has 45 rooms, but there is a secret hidden room that's room 46. Um, and if you can find that, then you win. You basically get everything. But the way it's laid out like a blueprint of a house. And when you walk in, you're limited to 50 steps for the day. When those 50 steps are up, then your day is over and you have to start again and everything resets. But it's all randomized. So when you open one of the doors inside the mansion, it allows you to choose between 3 different rooms. And each room will have like, they're all random. There's different things like they'll have a puzzle room where you can get gems that can be used for certain things or to unlock certain rooms. There's rooms with keys and coins that you can purchase things with. Um, and there's like secret rooms that like you can store your items because your items don't carry over to the next day unless you find this like storage room that you can save like one of your items in because you lose everything if you don't use them. And bedrooms give you extra steps. So if you're running low, the bedroom will give you like an extra 5 so you can last a little bit longer. I think each room counts as a step. So but you're going back and forth and doing all sorts of things. But it kind of lays out like this blueprint as you're going. And I don't know where room 46 is, if it's like at the top. Um, but there's all sorts of like different secrets and stuff. And it on the surface doesn't sound that cool, but if you look into it, it's really addictive. And the demo gives you 4 days worth of play in game. So there's quite a bit of content there, so you can try it and see if you like it or don't. You should know by the end of the demo. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend that. That's going to be day one PlayStation Plus and Game Pass. So super, super cool. Let's see. The next game that looked interesting was Outbound. This one is not a roguelite. Well, I don't know if it is or not, but uh, you are driving around in an RV, and you can kind of build your RV as you go. Like I guess you're like gathering resources and stuff outside. You can plant plants inside of your RV, and it's kind of like almost like a farming simulator, but it's in a, I don't know, it looks really cool. Like you can keep building extra rooms in your kitchen and changing your cupboards out, but it doesn't look gimmicky at all. It actually looks really interesting. That one doesn't have a demo on it yet either, but I'm interested in that one. There's quite a few games that have kind of done a similar thing, but they didn't look as good as this one does to me anyway. So yeah. Um, the next one that looked really cool was a new Don't Nod game. Don't Nod did Life is Strange, their original. Um, Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2. And Jusant. And I love Don't Nod. They're great. And recently just put out Lost Records Blooming Rage, which is kind of like Life is Strange as well. I haven't played enough of it to really say anything yet, so I need to get back to that later, but there's so many games to play right now, so only a little at a time, as much as I can do. But the Lonesome Guild is a new game from them, and it's completely different. It's like this action game where you have this like creature and I don't know if you're like recruiting more creatures to build up like this army, and like your team gets bigger and bigger and you get stronger as you grow your group, and it looks really, really cool. I guess that would make sense, the Lonesome Guild, because you like start out alone and then you build your guild and you are fighting all these enemies like in dungeons and stuff, and looks really, really fun. Um, let's see. Balatro is on Game Pass now, and they have added a couple of more collaborations. So with Balatro, the collabs are like the faces or like the designs on the cards, because you have just like the standard, deck of cards, king, queen, you know, spades, and all that. But the pictures on them are uh, collaborated with like some of the other indies. That like they had Dave the Diver, and they have like The Witcher and quite a few others already, but they have added Fallout, which I am obsessed with Fallout. They added Assassin's Creed and several other things, but yeah, mainly like Fallout and Assassin's Creed are like super exciting for me. So I still play Balatro. I've beat 4 decks so far, and I'm still going like gradually. I haven't gone to it in a while, but it's just like something to play like, 30 minutes on the side somewhere, you get a chance to go through on a run, then sometimes I'll do that. But yeah, I'll definitely add Fallout and maybe Assassin's Creed. I have Dave the Diver on there because I freaking love Dave the Diver, but yeah, Fallout 4 is one of my favorite games of all time, so definitely excited for that. The next game that looked interesting is Rataton. Rataton is kind of like another action game where you're battling these bosses and stuff, but it's all to the beat. So it's a rhythm game. And it looks really cool. The art style looks fun and colorful, and yeah, I definitely want to check that one out. Next one I've had on my wish list for a while. I'm still not like entirely sure what this game is supposed to be, but it looks really cute. It's Widow. I don't know. Um, yeah, and it's like this little frog, and it's got a really cute art style. And I'm still, like I said, I don't really know what it is. But the next game is called Tanuki Pond's Summer. This is basically kind of looks like Ghibli style with kind of like Pom Poko with the raccoons and Tanuki. Um, but you are a raccoon on a bicycle delivering packages and doing flips and tricks, kind of like, like a BMX game, but it's also a delivery game. So looks really cute. Definitely going to check that one out. That one doesn't have a demo either. So, let's see. The next one was 33 Immortals, which, like I said, I'm not really a co-op person, but this game looks like one of those games that I would actually dive into, play multiplayer, because it looks awesome. It reminds me of going on raids and WoW, kind of. So I think that's why it interests me so much. I think there's you and 32 other players playing on the screen, battling these bosses, and it looks awesome. So Yeah, that was it from ID at Xbox for me. I didn't really get into Lies of P. I played a little bit of it, but I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't, maybe it was just my mood at the time. Like sometimes I get in moods where a lot of things don't appeal to me. So if I get caught in one of those moods, sometimes I'm very picky. Um, Pokemon Presents, there wasn't really anything besides like Pokemon TCG Pocket. We have a new mini set coming out tomorrow. And honestly, I just do it for collecting cards because I don't have to go out and buy packs that are physical, which, it's very satisfying putting them in the binder and, having them all in order and stuff. But it gets overwhelming with all the extra duplicates that you have. Like, what am I going to do with those? Like most of them, nobody's going to buy, or trade. I guess I could like give them away or I don't know, but sometimes it's a little much and you can spend a lot of money doing physical packs on Pokemon, but it's still fun and still more fun than the digital version. But, the digital version I have not spent any money on and everything's digital, so I don't have to worry about having all these like duplicates and stuff. So I completed the base sets of the first two. Um, Mostly like finished up the last few of them that I had through trades. Of course, I still have like rare ones. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get like 100% on those because um, you can't trade those higher quality ones, and you know, I never get to a point where I'm going to open up those packs. So because I'm focusing on the ones that I have right now. So yeah, but at least the base sets, that's my main focus, and I have like 10 left of the current one, so hopefully I can finish that up. Um, they're also introducing like some mega evolution for TCG Pocket. I only played like the battles, the computer battles, so I can get more packs, and that's really it. So I don't really care about that too much. Um, They announced Pokemon Champions, which kind of looks like Stadium in a way, but it's going to be on mobile and Switch. And the thing is that this like trailer at the start like showed people playing on their Game Boy Advance, their Game Boy Colors, Game Boy Pockets. They were playing Stadium on 64 and all that. And I don't know why I would get excited about that because it's like, are they doing like a collection of the older games? Because that would be awesome. Just do like, the first three gens as an HD collection and then do a separate collection for the rest, the later ones. Um, or put them on Nintendo Switch Online or something. Make them accessible so people don't have to like just go out and do it in other means, but uh, yeah, they didn't do that. It's just Pokemon Champions, and I don't really care. I want to play the old Pokemon games because that's what I like, and I missed out on some of them. Like I didn't play after like Gold and Silver at all. I did play Brilliant Diamond, and I really liked it. I know a lot of people didn't for some reason. I much prefer that over like Legends Arceus and stuff, but whatever. I wouldn't mind like a Let's Go version of Gold and Silver. I love Soul Silver is like my favorite Pokemon game. So yeah, I don't know. And then we've got Pokemon Legends Z through A, and I don't think it looks good personally. I think it looks pretty dull. Um, and like I said, I didn't really even care too much for Arceus either. There were like some cool aspects. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is kind of cool. But it got old really, really fast for me. Um, and I prefer, battling at the gyms, getting my gym badges and moving on to the next. But I don't know. I wish it would kind of go back to the older formula because I thought those were a lot more interesting. But and there's tons of people that complain about like the open worlds like Scarlet Violet, and people said like Sword and Shield was too easy, which I didn't play that one, so I can't tell you. But um, I don't know. I just feel like they've gone downhill, and yeah, people, a lot of people supposedly don't like turn-based anymore. But I feel like they could do something with like the traditional style still and make it modern, but I don't know. I think Let's Go was okay, but anyway, yeah, that was it for Pokemon Presents, and that's really it for this video as well. So if you want, go ahead and follow me on Twitch, and maybe tonight at some point I will start live streaming. It's just going to be a bunch of indie demos, and I've got like, I don't know, like 10 of them or so, but I don't know how many I'll go through. I don't know if I can do like 3+ hours like some people do, but we'll try it and see. And until next time, I will see you guys later.